have 1,000 stupid excuses to fall into depression. And right now is a brilliant time, brilliant, wonderful time to make a video, because I haven't been the best today. It's been a bit of a downer day, I guess. Not sure if that word works, but let's just pretend it does. And looking back on all the reasons that I've had in the last few years for me being depressed are all selfish. At least the majority of them are when there is a reason, and there usually is a reason why I do get depressed. And so just to read my reasons off and to hear my own voice saying them, as annoying as my voice really does sound, I think right now I need to hear them, because I need to remember that all of these reasons are so selfish, and I think a lot of times when we are depressed, our reasons for being depressed are selfish. And I know a lot of people who don't like to hear that, but when you put down all of your reasons on paper or something, and you examine them, that just kind of opens your eyes, I guess. And sometimes I have to do that over and over again, because it's easy to forget, and it's easy in our society to just pity yourself and be okay with being depressed. And yeah, sometimes there are days that you're just depressed and you don't know why, but a lot of times there are reasons, and I think it's important to get to the bottom of those reasons, to properly deal with fighting against your depression. And so, yeah, I think I'm going to read these reasons off, these stupid reasons that I kind of don't want to read off because they're so terrible, but at the same time I know that I should, because it's for me, not just to prove my point that it is selfish, because I have a lot of friends who struggle with depression and they would disagree with me on when I first presented it to them, so I had to explain myself when I say that depression usually is selfish, and so I think I should just explain myself now. One of the reasons why I've fallen, one of the excuses that I've used for falling into depression is when people hurt me, is when people stab me in the back, or when they leave me. Yeah, those things do hurt, but so many times it would lead to self-pity and saying, wow, they totally left me, I'm not worth it, and having all of these self-pitiful thoughts and just thinking that everything was about me, and realizing, oh, somebody left me, and this isn't in my script, in my life. This isn't my script, you know? Someone's trampling all over it, and I don't deserve this. Yeah, that's selfish, right there. And also, I've been depressed in the past because my parents don't entirely understand my introvertness all the time, and I always thought that people should understand me, but of course, that's not how life works, and that no one just automatically understands you. Very rarely does that happen in your life, and you have to learn how to explain that to people, and it grows you in a different way. And I always thought that everybody was supposed to understand, and that made me upset, and that was kind of a selfish reason. And also, I've been depressed in the past because I don't have that many friends in California who I can hang out with. I have I don't know, 4 maybe, and no, 5, and 3 of those are adults, and they don't have that much time, so we don't really hang out. And that just made me depressed so many times because I got lonesome, and a lot of times my lonesomeness was selfish, and so that's been a big thing too. And the fact that I don't have a perfect family, because we do have a lot of conflict and we do fight, and I always thought that we should have the perfect family. we don't. My family is not perfect, like, at all. And so that's made me really depressed in the past, and that's kind of been selfish. And there's one that really used to get me down pretty much for my whole life, because I always thought I'd always have to measure up and be at the same level as everybody else in life. I had to be at the same level that the world told me I had to be. And I still do face that sometimes, every once in a while. The world's standard of beauty. And that just, if I really do think about it, it feels like it kills me, because I don't reach that bar. It's way too high. Like, no matter how many plastic surgeries I had or makeovers, I would never hit that bar. It's like way above me. It is so far above me. And so many times that mattered to me, and I wasn't happy with how God made me. And sometimes I do struggle with that still. And different things make you remind you that you don't hit that bar, like somewhat kind of today, but not that much today, but like a faint reminder today. But like, I don't know, just to think that my sister hits the bar, and a girl who I used to call my best friend hits the bar, but I don't. That just doesn't feel right. It used to not feel right at all. And I used to be so upset about how God made me, and that was hard. And that really made me depressed, and that's stupid. And then so selfish at the same time. Well, it is selfish, but yeah, those were most of the reasons. One of the greatest reasons that I use so many times is that because I am one of the thousands of people in the world who has pain and no one understands or can figure out where it came from, because I'm one of those people, and so I have the right to be depressed about it, because there's nothing anyone can do. And so many times I've let like all of my bad thinking and come and make me depressed about it. Like, this sounds stupid. It is stupid when I think about it now. But I didn't think that I was really human before. Not saying I thought I was an alien from outer space or something, but I didn't feel human because I didn't think that people just screwed up their bodies like I felt like I did, and I didn't think that anyone could ever care about me. I didn't think I was human in any way, really, other than maybe the fact that I had a soul, and that my face kind of, well, physically I looked human, but on the inside I guess I felt messed up, and so I didn't think that I could ever really have a normal life or anything, and that sounds really stupid, but that's how I thought for a really long time. And it's only by God's grace that He's changed my views. And yeah, but so many times I've been so depressed, and yet God's changed me so much, and He's pain in so many different ways. But so many times I feel like being depressed over, because there's nothing anyone can do about it, and I get to live with it as long as probably my whole life. But yeah, I'll probably end up dying from cancer one day, and they'll be like, oh, that's why you were in pain all those years, because you actually had cancer, and now you're gonna die. Yeah, something like that. It's probably gonna happen. But so many times that's been the reason why I can be depressed. At least that's what I thought. And I was totally wrong and off base, and I don't know. But just looking at all my reasons, examining them, such stupid reasons, and I really don't have the right to be depressed. The only time I have the right to maybe be depressed is because I'm depressed over things that God's breaking my heart for. And that's like the unsaved and the people who are lost, who I know, and things that God's heart breaks for. those aren't my reasons, being depressed all the time. And I'm just examining those that helps me learn to fight better against my depression. And I think that if you do struggle with depression, it is important to find out and really examine the reasons why you are depressed, because it will help you fight it better. And a lot of times it is because we're selfish. And I really am a selfish person, and I'm trying so hard to change that, but in the end, it's only God who can change you. And, yeah, I just had to remind myself of that, so I do think it is important. And thanks for watching. I know it's long, and I'm going to end it now.